It comes as no shock that major leading companies are often subject to complex conspiracy theories. The real kicker, though, is when those outlandish ideas are proven true, especially when they target one of the largest social media platforms that dominates the world, YouTube. Number 10. Creators, influencers, and all those who make use of social media are aware of the element that we've duly named the algorithm, a term used to refer to the data-driven calculations made by a computer to not only prioritize, but to sort and deliver content to the audience. The recommendations are based on preferences, behaviors, and interactions, allowing the audience to engage in their favorite topics with minimal effort. At least, this is how it should be happening. Following the dawn of the internet, several companies began to seek ways to capitalize on the concept of international connection, leading to the establishment of various social media platforms that allowed users to stay in touch. One such platform was YouTube, the American online video sharing company owned by Google. Over the years, this platform has evolved from being a platform for vines and fails to become an actual money-making job for creators. Today, the platform finds itself heavily oversaturated with creators and influencers who offer a wide range of content for their audience in the era of entertainment. According to reports, YouTube utilizes a data-driven algorithm to deliver the most wanted videos to each individual viewer. It's long been maintained that the suggestions and recommendations are driven by users themselves, allowing for a fair platform that recognizes all creators. Except this isn't always what's happening. Several years ago, some creators, mainly smaller channels, began to notice something odd. They found that regardless of the amount of content they created, or the frequency of their posts, their views and subscriptions remained relatively low, and some even saw a significant drop in views. In contrast, some users of the platform have found that supposedly trending videos and channels have popped up on their YouTube even though the videos themselves had fewer than 100 views. Adding to this, some creators have found that once they hit 500 views, it all suddenly stops and instead begins to drop. These odd discoveries together suggested that more than one algorithm was at play here, and that it may not be as data-driven or as fair as we're led to believe. For the next few years, small creators were faced with an uphill battle, and soon the conspiracy theory emerged. YouTube is curating the algorithm. This was what many began to suggest when they realized that despite their best efforts, they weren't moving past that small creator title. Subsequently, several studies and investigations by independent sources were carried out, only to discover evidence of bias. That evidence suggested that YouTube was rewarding the already established insider creators over those who were just starting out. Reports ultimately suggested that editorial curation was involved, and it was being used to boost brand partners and in-house originals. Brand partners refer to the creators and businesses that collaborate with the platform to promote themselves, ranging from short mentions to dedicated sponsored videos and influencer marketing campaigns. For creators who found themselves becoming brand partners, a steady stream of income and opportunities was to follow, while the rest of the community was buried. The algorithm conspiracy carried out by YouTube, in short, suggests that the platform isn't as merit-based as it's long claimed to be. The amount of effort and time one puts into their content seems to only be a small fragment of it all. Instead, it's been alleged that YouTube makes use of preferential treatment, where bias dominates the trending tab. Number 9. Manipulating the algorithm even further, this time not faulted to YouTube, is a conspiracy carried out by creators themselves. It's the sub-for-sub practice that even today still dominates several social media sites, including Instagram, where influencers and regular users orchestrate a follow-for-follow narrative, allowing their pages to see more followers than they would have had if they had acquired them naturally. The difference between the follow-for-follow and sub-for-sub conspiracy, though, is that on Instagram, it's completely legal, mostly because influencers don't earn a direct income from the platform. In contrast, subscribing to a creator only for them to do the same goes against YouTube's community guidelines. The illegality of this plot, though, has not dissuaded some creators who continue this unhelpful practice. sub for sub doesn't work in the way that many people have hoped for. The idea behind it was to gain more subscribers to increase revenue and interest. But this isn't how YouTube works. Instead, revenue is generated by engagement and views, rather than the number of subscribers the channel has. Often, when using this method for subscriber harvesting, creators who agree to subscribe to the channel do so for their own personal gain, meaning they're unlikely to ever watch the channel's videos or engage with them, ultimately defeating the purpose. This conspiracy contributes minimally to the generated revenue, only by suggesting to potential genuine subscribers that the channel is worth subscribing to. It also does very little in helping that creator's channel win a spot on the trending page, because again, there's almost no engagement on the videos themselves. What sub for sub does, though, is create a high number of superficial subscribers who are uninterested in the videos and provide disingenuous views from an audience that only watches the videos because of the higher subscriber count. Often, the viewers even may be an audience of bots, falsifying engagement. This conspiracy also tends to harm the organic growth of the channel and potentially lead to strikes or even termination. The artificially inflated subscriber count ultimately contributes nothing to channel success in the long run, and is a practice that's not worth the risk of termination and loss of revenue. The effort is wasteful, considering that even with 50,000 subscribers, only a handful are actually watching the videos. It's this very conspiratorial, uninformed practice that's led to major subscription purges orchestrated by YouTube. Number 8. Ever see a comment, post, or video disappear from a social media site or any other online forum? Turns out there's a word for it. It's called shadow banning, a term that was added to our vocabulary around 2001, when moderators of humor websites began to hide a user's posts from everyone except themselves. The post was invisible to every other viewer aside from the individual who posted it. The term has been used ever since, often in relation to social media, where moderators and orchestrators prefer some content to be less seen. It comes as no surprise that YouTube was involved in such a conspiracy. In terms of YouTube, shadow banning refers to the utter nightmare that some creators have faced, where they found that their videos were still up on their channel, but no one else could find them, and were instead met with the red YouTube logo with the confused expression, accompanied by the phrase, "This video is not available." Often, these videos don't directly go against community guidelines, but are viewed as somewhat controversial, politically charged, or even health-related. Instead of being demoted, earning a strike, or having the video completely removed, they're shadow banned. This practice often occurs without the channel owner's knowledge, and is only discovered that this has happened by accident. The primary reason behind this subtle manipulation is to influence search rankings, notifications, and even recommendations. Of course, YouTube has never outwardly admitted that it was practicing this method of moderation, though documentation and investigations told a different story. It was found that the platform does deprioritize content in the recommendation streams, while still leaving videos on the channel itself. The shadow banning conspiracy appears to gain momentum after YouTube tightened its policies. These restrictions were established in the aftermath of the adpocalypse that occurred in 2017, another conspiracy that we'll explore later. In the wake of the adpocalypse, the company began introducing demonetization rules, directly targeting channels that covered politics, conspiracy theories, and sensitive news incidents. Owners of such channels began to notice that their videos were no longer appearing in the Up Next bar, and were sometimes even removed from search results. Affected creators argued that this secret practice was an infringement on what they were legally permitted to discuss. The reduction in the visibility was, according to them, only instituted to protect advertisers and to protect controversy. Fueling suspicions was the notable secrecy surrounding YouTube's algorithm, which appeared to deliberately suppress certain videos. In 2020, a surge of reports on shadow banning prompted further investigation, which revealed that content labeled as conspiratorial was deliberately demoted, resulting in a reduction in reach across the platform. It was also determined that a significant portion of shadow bans experienced a noticeable drop in engagement and views. The videos gained less reach, didn't appear to be in the Up Next sidebar, or show up in search results. Unlike PewDiePie's 2020 glitch, these instances were legitimate examples of deprioritization to suit the narrative and another conspiracy in the plot to silence. Number 7. Below each YouTube video is a series of interactive buttons. There's subscribe, download, and share. But it wouldn't be complete without the option to provide the creator with feedback on what the viewer thought of the content they just watched. So the platform added 2 extra buttons that took the shape of a thumbs up and thumbs down. These served as the like and dislike buttons, both of which are displayed for every person who watches the video. YouTube also added more information that would tell viewers a little bit more about the channel's engagement, including the number of subscribers a creator has, how many likes the video has received, and how many people disliked it. At least that's how it used to be. In 2021, YouTube rolled out an update that was met with considerable controversy, extensive speculation, and the suggestion that a conspiracy was behind it all. That update was the removal of the dislike button counter. This decision came after an alleged experiment that the platform carried out on its users. They intentionally hid the number of dislikes from randomly chosen videos to determine the effect that it had on engagement. The experiment revealed that without a number next to the thumbs down, there was a reduction in what they referred to as a dislike attack. Apparently, there's a phenomenon where the visibility of the counter encourages more users to interact with it, resulting in an increase in dislikes and potentially affecting the creators. This phenomenon has been observed across social media platforms, which is why some outlets don't offer this option. The removal of this specific piece of information, though, begged the question, why did it matter so much if the dislikes were increasing? The question led to the whole protecting the creators from harassment explanation, which wasn't well received by the broader community. The said community would argue that this decision would have a significantly negative impact, including the removal of free speech and the ability to voice one's opinion on something that is collectively disliked. Having a dislike counter also had several benefits, including that viewers could determine whether or not a video was ever even worth watching. The higher the number of thumbs down, the greater the chance that the viewer won't waste their time watching unworthy content, a narrative that didn't fit in with an industry that wants to curate what one should and shouldn't watch. The removal of the information left speculation that even more algorithm manipulation was underway. The audience wasn't the only one left unsettled by the news update, but creators found it to be daunting too. Some YouTubers found that posting videos was significantly scarier without the dislike button, because it left them uncertain and in the dark on how the video would be received. Users of the platform are still not the only ones who are against this new feature. Co-founder Jawed Karim protested this change too. He argued that the real reason behind the alteration has not been fully disclosed, leaving everyone wondering why YouTube really chose to do this, with Karim suggesting potential corporate motivations. Number 6. Though only becoming widely known in 2017, ElsaGate has been haunting the catacombs of YouTube since early 2013. It was that year that a wave of incredibly warped videos flooded the platform and lingered well into the 2020s. Despite the disturbing content present within, these videos were labeled as child-friendly, making use of well-known cartoon characters such as Spider-Man, Elsa, and Peppa Pig. These videos were overflowing with an unyielding amount of violence, gross imagery, and nonsensical content. Often, these videos featured unauthorized crossovers, combining characters from different franchises without permission. The clips featured a variety of animation styles, ranging from live action to flash animation, as well as claymation and computer-generated images. Most of the time, there was no dialogue accompanying the videos, only background music, making it more difficult to recognize the harmfulness of the content. The videos served as nightmare fuel, with hours worth of compilations where popular cartoon characters were subjected to a variety of disturbing things, from mutilation to being buried alive. The eerie uploads managed to slip through the cracks of moderation, maliciously utilizing specific tags and settings to evade the child safety restrictions, and they were even allowed to appear on YouTube Kids. Furthermore, the makers of these disturbing animations labeled and titled their videos in such a way that they would attract more attention, specifically from the eyes of the youth, They made use of cartoon character names and terms like education or nursery rhymes. Parents, believing they were playing an entertaining, friendly, fun, and educational video for the younger viewers, would be left traumatized by what they got instead. In 2017, public awareness of ElsaGate only grew, and reports of YouTube child safety were released by several media outlets. Following the backlash that YouTube faced for this multifaceted mystery, they decided to orchestrate another major purge, leading to the deletion of several channels that were responsible for the disturbing content. These outlandish channels were utilizing content farms, aiding the algorithm and keeping their videos in the lines of sight on the Watch Next and Trending tabs. ElsaGate had spread like a virus and was recognized as a sick and twisted conspiracy that directly targeted younger watchers. It seemed the plot was not only to brainwash viewers into liking violence, but to cause shock and horror as a whole. Number 5. At the end of 2018 and beginning of 2019, YouTube found itself at the center of controversy again, involving a conspiratorial plot of subscriber manipulation. Creators across the platform began to notice a sudden drop in their subscribers, most of which was unexplained. Some creators claimed that they were noticing some irregular patterns in the subscriber region, or that new subscribers were not being registered at all. The subscriber count fall came with suspicion and speculation. YouTubers were beginning to think that YouTube itself was behind this event. It turned out they were right. In December of 2018, their fears were ultimately confirmed. YouTube was allegedly curating and manipulating the platform again. That month, YouTube made a public announcement claiming that the sudden, uninformed drop was due to an alleged subscriber purge, which they cited as being routine maintenance. The company claimed that it had long been removing inactive spam or bot accounts from the system to ensure that these counts accurately reflect real human interaction. YouTube began to warn its creators thereafter, suggesting there would be a large-scale removal of subscribers, framing it as a routine housekeeping task. The company warned that there would be a noticeable decrease across several channels. For smaller channels, this subscriber manipulation tactic could prove detrimental. The removal of a couple hundred accounts would mean that they would have to start from the bottom in an effort to reach the monetization threshold all over again. Nonetheless, the purge was rolled out in the months to come, leading to the complete removal of channels that couldn't withstand the drop in subscribers. Thousands of accounts were wiped out almost overnight. Though YouTube insists it's all about maintaining integrity, some creators have become incredibly vocal about their frustrations. Some would claim that some of the subscribers that were removed from their channels were actually legitimate people, not bots or spam accounts. A few of those subscribers were regular viewers who engaged with that channel often by liking or commenting on videos. On the other side, users would confirm that they were being automatically unsubscribed from certain channels without their knowledge or consent. This allowed for speculation on YouTube, fueling its own narrative and suppressing independent voices to run rampant. Many claim that this was all being done in favor of corporate-backed creators or those who were deemed advertiser-friendly. It's been alleged that this move further supported the adpocalypse theory, which sought to push out risky content in favor of what was deemed safe. Number 4. The term adpocalypse was introduced into creator lingo back in 2017, when one of the most notorious events in YouTube's history played out. It was at the very beginning of that year when something unnerving was brought to the public's attention. YouTube rolled out a major wave of demonetization, along with some incredibly strict advertising policies. This came after several major advertisers abruptly pulled their ads from the platform. These advertisers, including Verizon, AT&T, Walmart, Pepsi, and Johnson & Johnson, discovered that their products and services were being displayed alongside extremist or inappropriate content. The videos were supposedly violent, grotesque, or promoted hate speech. Fearing that their companies would face backlash and damage to their reputations, the collective decision was made to pull the ads. Almost overnight, changes swept across the platform, altering the monetization system and flagging content that was deemed inappropriate. Although YouTube believed it was doing the right thing to maintain its partnerships and advertisers, The impact it had on independent creators was monumental. Several YouTubers saw massive swaths of demonetization, resulting in a significant loss of money. Even major creators such as PewDiePie saw their videos being demonetized, resulting in the loss of brand partnerships and sponsorships. Partnerships, income, and advertising seemingly evaporated overnight. Creators weren't the only ones affected by the adpocalypse, though. YouTube itself faced significant backlash from those who made use of the platform. Even so, they were forced to inaugurate more sanitized and policed guidelines for content. Ultimately, the platform prioritized its advertisers over the freedom of its creators and their content. YouTube defended itself by saying that these vague policies were necessary to reassure advertisers and maintain the platform's sustainability. But in the wake of the adpocalypse, some began to grow suspicious of the true reason behind the purge. Some believed that the company was trying to suppress independent voices, rather than protecting its partners. Evidence for this came in the form of disproportionate demonetization. Specifically, the adpocalypse seemed to target smaller creators while favoring the established and larger brands. Adding another layer to the conspiracy was the subtle shift towards preferred content, where YouTube introduced programs such as Google Preferred, now known as YouTube Select, which allowed advertisers to place their ads on top-performing and brand-friendly content deemed safe. In doing so, many independent or otherwise controversial creators were sidelined, resulting in a decline in revenue and subscriptions. To those affected by this conspiracy, the new rules seemed less like a neutral response to voiced concerns and more of a complete restructuring that led to suppression and a steer away from grassroots origins. YouTube, though, allegedly shifted the blame onto the automated algorithms being behind the silencing of some independent, lesser-known creators. Whether this was an intentional conspiracy or a corporate risk that had gone too far, the change was undeniable. YouTube culture was permanently changed from then on, leading to several creators self-censoring their content and avoiding any topic that may be viewed as controversial, inappropriate, or violent. Number 3. YouTube has gone to great lengths to protect its users and creators through various guidelines and rules that make the platform safe most of the time. The company also has gone to great lengths to protect those who aren't affiliated with YouTube, such as musicians, artists, and video owners. They protect these individuals through copyright guidelines, which often automatically take effect when copyright is detected in certain content. Copyright rules aren't unique to YouTube, of course, but are instituted in every aspect of the technological world, protecting those who created it and their work. Although it may seem like this particular YouTube feature is a failsafe, it turns out it's not. In 2011, a major sham was brought into public view when certain rogues took advantage of YouTube's copyright control filters, known alternatively as Content ID. The conspiracy began with something as simple as a cat video, which was at the time all the rage on the viewing platform. This particular video was recorded by the channel's owner of their cat named Pepper, who was ripping up a piece of paper. It was clear that they'd been the original owners of the video, but that's not what copyright policy saw when one rogue company hijacked the video, claiming that it was their own. So the control filters kicked in without any legal oversight. With the claim that this particular company was the true owner of the video, any ad revenue would be redirected into their account, resulting in a significant loss of profit for the actual uploader. This practice was seen as blatant copyright fraud and Content ID abuse. The hijacking of videos and channels wasn't a one-time occurrence, and several companies were behind it. Kidnapping of videos, according to anecdotal evidence, suggests that it's occurred thousands of times over the years, allowing these rogue companies to profit greatly. The sheer number of complaints regarding hijacking and fraudulent copyright claims serves as a potential indicator of just how much these rogues are profiting from videos that are not theirs. Some creators who have uploaded their own original content to the platform have claimed that they've been victimized by this conspiracy at least 20 times in the span of a few months, resulting in their videos being removed or allowing the fraudulent claimant to earn revenue from advertising every time someone clicks on the video. When the Content ID, which operates on autopilot, finds a match between videos, it emails the uploader to inform them of the claim and discloses the name of the company that made it. Unless the creator files a counterclaim or disputes that any violation occurred, the claimant is awarded full control over the video. It's alleged that these scammers are relying on the idea that most creators would be intimidated by the official sounding company, preventing them from protesting. Those who are brave enough, though, do file a counter notice, forcing the scammers to abandon the claim. Several victims of this scam were left unsettled and confused when they saw new ads being played on their content, but the revenue from those ads wasn't being deposited into their accounts. Number 2. Since its inception in 2005, YouTube has continued to grow in popularity. From its establishment, it would see 30,000 viewers per day. A few months later, the platform was serving 2 million viewers per day. Each month, those numbers increased, making it one of the leading social media platforms. Even though people around the world had access to a free video streaming service that allowed them to watch content they were interested in and stay up to date with the news, one thing was getting in the way: ads. YouTube videos were infested with ads for products and services. Users were forced to endure a few seconds of an advertisement before being given the option to skip it and return to their video. Advertisers make up a major part of the platform, allowing the company and creators to profit, and in exchange, the company gets more reach for their product. Years after the release of YouTube, a majority of the audience were beginning to get fed up with having to watch an ad or two at the beginning or end of the videos. The users were incredibly vocal about their frustrations, and it eventually led to the change they wanted, but it came at a cost. In 2014, the platform launched YouTube Premium, known previously as YouTube Red. It was a subscription that allowed users to access content completely ad-free. It also provided the audience with access to YouTube Originals, the ability to download content, and the option to listen to videos in the background on mobile devices while engaging in other applications or locking their phone screen. It was everything that any social media user could dream of. No ads meant uninterrupted viewing, but again, it came at a cost, specifically at $13.99 a month for an individual plan or $22.99 a month for a family plan. A large portion of YouTube users, though, found themselves unable to make the switch. The amount was just another commitment they had to make that they weren't prepared for. While some users initiated their premium accounts, others decided to stick with the ads, a choice that was not at all beneficial to the platform, which had realized the substantial amount of money that it could make. In recent years, it's been discovered that YouTube is initiating several changes, making the free tier not as free anymore. It appears that a conspiracy is underway to push non-premium users to pay for the service, and the company is allegedly doing this through some daunting measures and manipulation. Measures such as unskippable ads, which often run much longer than they did before. At first, it didn't seem like that big of a deal, but that's only the start of it. From longer ads came several unskippable ads in a row in one video. Some audience members found that they were being forced to watch 5 ads throughout the entirety of one video, while others endured a harrowing 10. Often, by the time they reached the 6th interruption, the content was no longer deemed worth watching. YouTube's sudden increase in ads certainly made a point, leading many to subscribe to YouTube Premium, whereas others refused to bow down to the greediness they were witnessing. It didn't stop there, though. YouTube's next target was the popular ad blockers, leading several news outlets, blocker companies, and social media users to dub it the war against ad blockers. One tactic the platform used was to block playback outright unless the user endured the ads or subscribed to Premium. Not choosing either of these options meant that the audience was unable to even watch their desired video. To many, it felt like a ploy to encourage them to purchase a subscription for what was supposed to be a free video streaming service. According to reports, some confirmation from alleged YouTube executives suggests that premium users were far more valuable. Number 1. As innocent consumers, a major portion of society stands idly by, waiting for the world's leading companies to produce something that they can eat up. Often, we trust in said companies to provide social media users with safe and secure products and services. On rare occasions, though, these protocols fail, and those who have used these services are the ones left paying the price. Such was the case in 2024, when a deceptive practice, coded by a sweet-sounding name, rolled out across YouTube, affecting creators and affiliate marketers as a whole. Honey, a browser extension, was introduced to social media users back in 2012. The extension's purpose was to help users find and apply coupon codes in online shopping stores. The extension is supposed to help users save on purchases that they make online by giving them the best available coupons at checkout. Since 2012, numerous updates have been rolled out for Honey, such as the ability for users to earn points when using the extension, which can later be redeemed for cash, credits, or gift cards. Honey's purpose was straightforward, simple, and innocent, and it certainly wasn't meant to do this. In 2014, one of YouTube's creators uploaded a video, originally from 2021, pointing their finger at Honey and calling it out for running a scam that targeted both consumers and influencers. According to this YouTuber and several others who spoke out afterward, the extension was responsible for hijacking affiliate links that were meant to pay creators for promoting their affiliate business. Not only that, but Honey was also allegedly offering limited coupon options and even published some seriously misleading advertisements. The initial video that brought this scam to light was a 3-part series that garnered more than 9.4 million views. It wasn't only in 2024, though, that someone was making a sinister suggestion about Honey. All the way back in 2019, another YouTuber suggested that the extension was shady. Another video had surfaced in 2020, claiming that the Honey app was a scam. The 2021 follow-up to this video would not be publicized until 2024, revealing unexpected details of an alleged conspiracy to defraud creators out of money and deceive consumers. What made this scam even worse was that several creators realized that a scam was taking place across YouTube, but decided not to publicize it, or their videos were somewhat suppressed. Some creators even continued to promote the extension despite the controversy that surrounded it, and Honey was allegedly stealing from them too, without their knowledge. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up to date with all of our future uploads. But my name is Ty Knotts, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.